Hello, I'm Judge Nat Lester Bejuge, formerly of the Fifth Circuit Court of Louisiana. I want to thank what the hell just happened for an opportunity to speak to you today on a most urgent topic, equal justice under law. These words are inscribed above the entrance to the United States Supreme Court and are the bedrock of our democracy. For those of you who might have lacked focus, you know what I'm talking about? In your high school civics class, allow me to offer you a brief review. The Supreme Court has evolved over the years, even since the time that teaching the word evolution was itself illegal. The original Supreme Court had 6 justices. Various acts of Congress altered the number of seats on the court from a low of 5 to a high of 10, and it was only after the Civil War that we settled on 9 justices. Probably because by then we had baseball, which everybody loved much more than lawyering. Now, once a case rises unresolved through all the appellate courts, it may be finally heard by the Supreme Court. They then decide how the case shall be disposed. What results is considered settled law, or as we call it, stare decisis. Because though no one speaks Latin anymore, we like to sound like we know more than you. And it justifies our high hourly rate of pay. Now, settled law can be reversed by a majority of the Supreme Court justices if they wish to revisit the decision. For example, it was settled law to prohibit same-sex marriage, and this was reversed with Obergefell versus Hodges. The Affordable Care Act is settled law, which was affirmed by the court in 2011. But even during the pandemic, it's being challenged in dozens of federal courts and may be on the docket quite soon. So, you see, the decisions made by the highest court can have an enduring effect on all of us. This is why it's so important to have a balanced and open-minded court, the kind of court that Ruth Bader Ginsburg served on for over 27 years. Which brings us to Amy Coney Barrett. Now, if you've been reading or watching the news, y'all know that the president has nominated Supreme Court Justice to replace RBG. The Senate is conducting hearings on whether Judge Amy Coney Barrett is suitable for this lifelong appointment. You may even have seen television commercials promoting Judge Barrett. Somebody's spending buku bucks to sell it to you as though she were a roll of charming toilet paper. Please don't appease the justice. So today we must ask the question, Judge Amy Coney Barrett, why the hell are you even here? Now, some presidents personally choose their Supreme Court nominees to reflect their own constitutional beliefs. The current president has chosen 3 nominees. But because he has no constitutional beliefs that anyone can discern, he has allowed a hard right-wing group called the Federalist Society to choose all of his nominees for him. This is the equivalent of having a committee decide what lunch you're going to eat every day for the rest of your life. You can only hope you really like liverwurst. Judge Barrett was the perfect choice for the Federalist Society. She was even a member of that group, along with 5 other sitting members of the current court. So her confirmation would make her number 6. Now that's what I call a tightly packed court. Her judicial beliefs are therefore extremely relevant, so let's look at some of them. Coney believes that the Voting Rights Act is in need of an update, even though it was updated in 2006. The update she has in mind will make it even harder for people of color to vote. She also worked on the Bush v. Gore case as a private attorney under Jim Baker, and we know how that turned out. Though she has strongly and publicly declared her beliefs about the LGBTQ community, she has not said she will recuse herself from those cases. And in fact, the day after Election Day this year, the court will hear oral arguments in a case on whether taxpayer-funded adoption agencies can turn away LGBTQ families. I wonder how she'll rule on that. I think we know how she'll rule on that. Barrett personally opposes abortion and signed an advertisement placed by an anti-abortion group in an Indiana newspaper which read in part, "It's time to put an end to the barbaric legacy of Roe v. Wade. and restore laws that protect the lives of unborn children, close quote, which in my neck of the woods are called fetuses. So I think we know how she'll rule on this issue. She's a strict Second Amendment defender and has stated that there is no evidence that denying guns to convicted nonviolent felons promotes crime. Well, what does it promote, I wonder? She helped block Governor J.B. Pritzker's order to wear a mask in public during the pandemic, even though she herself tested positive for COVID-19 this summer. That's like denying antibiotics to everybody who has venereal disease. It's crazy. She is staunchly anti-immigrant and has ruled against them in her courtroom, deporting one man back to El Salvador on Christmas Eve, even though he had to face a drug cartel death threat. So at this juncture, bearing in mind that she will be replacing Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I think it's fair to ask, Judge Barrett, why the hell are you even here? I thank you for all your kind attention, and you are now free to go and vote. Goodbye for now.